Is there a certain level of embarrassment that it talks about when embarrassing someone in public? Because like eternal hell, like for embarrassing someone in public, it has to be like, don't they have to be like super embarrassed, a little embarrassed? Like, how embarrassed are we talking?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on whether it was intentional or not. It depends on whether the person did tshuva for it or not. Everything is subject to tshuva, meaning that even if you embarrass somebody in public, you can still do tshuva for it. You can say, I'm sorry to the person. You can work on yourself to not do it again. You can work on your character traits. All of us have failed at this at some point or another, sometimes even with our own most important people in our life. Usually the people we embarrass the most are the people that we love the most. Our wife, our husbands, our kids, our parents. And so it happens often, and simply because of lack of knowledge. We don't realize that either it's not allowed, or we don't realize that it's going to be that embarrassing for them. So the most important thing to know is that, number one, it's something that you could do tshuva for, which starts off with being saying I'm sorry, working on yourself to never do it again, do your best to work on your character trait to never bring yourself to that type of stage, and if you fail again, do tshuva again. Do tshuva again. Tshuva is available as long as you're alive. They asked one of the Chachamim about life, tell us a secret that's going to get us to Olam Haba. And Rabbi Eliezer says, do tshuva before you die. So the students say to Rabbi Eliezer, well, does one actually know when he's going to die? So Rabbi Eliezer answers, he goes, exactly. Since you don't know, and no one knows when they're going to die, therefore you're obligated to do tshuva every day. Every day you work on something. Today you're going to work on prayer. Okay, tomorrow you maybe work on prayer again. Next day, maybe you continue to work on prayer. Maybe you're going to work on prayer for 3 months straight. Who knows? But eventually you got to change something else. Okay, learning. You're going to work on learning. You're going to learn more now. Okay, it's 15 minutes, now it's a half hour, now it's an hour, and so on and so forth. Okay, you're going to start working on character traits. Every one of us knows for sure at least a few things that we are terrible at. If you don't, then that means you have even more things terrible about you. Everyone has something terrible about them. Everyone. You know there's something terrible about you. Pick something that's terrible about you. You're angry. You're cheap. You're a stingy person. You are I don't know, whatever it is that you are. Something's wrong with you that you know that's not really a likable thing. People complain about it all the time. And the reality is, they're right. You don't have to admit to all of them that they're right. Admit to yourself at least that they're right, and you have to fix it. Pick it, start working on it. Start working on it. Start fixing it. The Rambam writes, for example, someone that's stingy, one of the ways to work on it is to take a certain amount of money that you are willing to give, let's say $100, and give it to 100 people. Not $100 times 100, but take $100 and give $1 to different people. Why? Even though $100 to one person will be a lot more productive than $1 to 100 people. Well, how much is $1 going to help somebody? You can't even buy gum with it anymore. What are you going to do with $1? You give a homeless guy $1, he's going to tell you, listen, you want me to give you change? That's all you're giving me, $1? What am I going to do with $1? Can't do anything with $1 anymore. So, but the thing is, Rambam says, give him $1. Why give him $1? Because you're stingy. There's no chance in the world you're going to give him 5. There's no chance in the world you're going to give him 10. There's no chance in the world you're going to give him 100. No chance. You're not going to do. You're a stingy person. So what do? Give $1 to 100 people, because that you can give. Why? Because once you see that you feel the feeling of giving to so many people, what it creates for you, what this emotional feeling, this physical feeling that you get out of it, this pleasure that you get out of it, you're going to want to give more. You're going to get used to giving. After giving to 100 people, even though you really didn't help anybody, you're going to actually start like giving. You're going to enjoy giving. And that's going to eventually lead you to give more than just $100. Maybe you end up giving 200, maybe 300, maybe more. And that happens sometimes. I've actually seen it with my own eyes, where you see there's certain people that are very, very stingy and they change over time. Unfortunately, people only change if they want to change, though. No one changes by itself. There's no evolution of character traits. Your character traits develop if you want them to develop. If you don't want them to develop, they won't develop. They'll stay the same ox you were born. You know, it's an important thing. So if a person takes tshuva seriously, he's going to evaluate himself. She's going to evaluate herself. Where am I weak at? The rabbi keeps mentioning modesty in every single lecture. Yet I still have pictures on the internet with tank tops on. I still walk around with half an outfit missing. So maybe I should take modesty on. Maybe I should stop wearing tight clothes as if from one of these goyot. Maybe I should start looking like I'm from a different nation. Maybe I should stop enticing every average Joe to look at me because I'm so attracting, not just attractive. You know, I wear clothes specifically to get attention. Certain colors that she wears, certain styles that she wears, certain features that she has. She wears clothes that have, the brand or certain words right on her chest. Hashem Yirachem. That means that every single time a guy walks by, immediately he's going to look at those words. Why? Because our brain is programmed in a certain way that we look at certain things automatically, even with subconsciously. That's why the billboard business is so successful. That's why if you want to get a billboard, for example, in New York City, you're going to have to pay at least $250,000 a month. $250,000 a month to get a decent billboard on the highway to put your advertisement on it. At least. I'm talking about cheap. You want to go in Manhattan? You want to go into other places? You're talking about millions of dollars. Why? Who's looking up? Everyone. You put words, you put colors, you put a picture on something, people automatically, like this. Everybody's a reincarnation of the water fountain that rotates by itself. That's what we are. Everybody moves their heads like this, like little monkeys. That's what we are. We keep looking. So if she wears a shirt that has words on our chest or has words on our behind, guess what? Not only is this not allowed, this is mamash the Satan himself in clothes. So a woman that thinks about this automatically says, okay, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it to wear this Gucci, Fendi, whatever brand you like and make so many sins just by going outside to go buy some groceries. It's not worth it. So a person that does tshuva starts doing self-evaluation. Where am I weak at? What could I do? How could I change it? How could I fix this? How could I fix that? And little by little, they fix. You start seeing yourself a year later, you can't recognize yourself anymore. Why? You've improved so much. But that's only if you want to change. And that's why I told somebody, I have a friend of mine, Talmid Chacham, serious Talmid Chacham. He's also a physicist. He has a website that has all types of scientific proofs of God and so on. Anyway, we had a discussion one time about Gehinnom. And he said, yeah, I saw somebody make a comment and they said that them learning about punishment turned them off from Judaism. It got them so upset they got turned off by it. And people are always worried about talking about punishment, talking about severe things, because they're afraid of turning people off. Now here's the secret. The only people that are turned off, the only people that are upset by hearing about punishment are people that don't want to change. That's why you're upset. You're upset about Gehinnom because you don't want to change, and therefore you know you're going there. We're talking about you. You're the criminal. That's why you're upset. But a guy that says, listen, I don't want to go to this Gehinnom. I'm going to change. He's not upset. He's enlightened. He's, thanks, Rabbi. You just changed my life. I didn't know I was going to go one-way ticket to Gehinnom. I didn't know. Now you told me to stop wasting seed. Now you told me to stop going with every girl that I meet and don't meet. Now that you told me to stop doing drugs. Now that you told me to do that, Hashem hates all this stuff. Rabbi, you just saved my life. You're the best rabbi in the world. That's the best rabbi. I just told you it's Aleph Bet of the Torah. What best rabbi? I just did the job you were supposed to already know when you were 6 years old. Rabotai, I'm going to show you something. I read this. I don't know, it hit my neshama. There is a halachot that you learn about how to behave as far as modesty, both as a man and as a woman. And there's halachot of how to behave in the bathroom. This always fascinates me. And the reason why is because this shows us how precise our Torah is and how much Asher cares about everything. Now, you're not allowed to learn Torah when you're on the toilet. You're not allowed to learn Torah. Now, you're going to think about, if you're a righteous Jew, you're going to think about Hashem all the time. There's no such thing as not thinking about Hashem. But to learn Torah, you're not allowed to do. Not allowed to take your chumash with you, learn on the toilet. Not allowed. Why? Because it's an impure place. But here's a question for you. Is a Kadosh Baruch Hu also in the toilet? If you say no, you're Kofer Gamur. Why? He's everywhere. He's everywhere. Enod milvado, there's nothing else but him. He's everywhere. Now let me ask you a question. Is a Kadosh Baruch Hu disgusted from the fecal matter that's in the bathroom? Is he disgusted from the fecal matter? From the waste that comes out of your body? Is he disgusted from it? No, he created it. Chazaku Baruch Satan. Now, is a Kadosh Baruch Hu disgusted from the animals? Like, for example, the pig. The pig, whether you throw him a diaper, or you throw him food, or you throw him a human being, he's going to eat anything. The pig is such a filthy, disgusting animal that even if a venomous snake bites it, it does absolutely no damage whatsoever to the pig. Why? Because the skin of the pig has